Hello and welcome to another episode of the Movie Madhouse. I'm Jason.
I'm James.
And due to poor communication, we are Robless tonight. But we roll on. We got to keep this ship rolling, man. And you came up with this topic. Yes, it's a personal issue for yourself, but my brain went working right away, and I immediately knew at least 3 of my top 5.
Yeah, and I had 2 in my head immediately.
And then I just had to do a slight bit of digging, a little bit of Googling, and I revisited one movie today because I knew it should be on this list, but I haven't watched it in a very long time. So,
nice.
Top 5 flicks about losing your job. Yes, last week Rob and I did go to a movie. There was another mystery movie premiere.
Oh, you didn't watch it at home?
Nope. There was another mystery premiere.
Oh.
So we ended up going to that, and it was The Christophers, the new Steven Soderbergh movie with Sir Ian McKellen. Oh,
I hadn't heard about that.
I hadn't heard of it either. Rob thinks he might have seen a trailer for it somewhere. It was really, really good. Sir Ian McKellen, of course, crushes. I'm really glad I saw it. When we left the theater, there was a woman out there with a clipboard. Hey, did you see the premiere? Can I get your rating out of 5 and any comments or whatever? I gave it a 4 out of 5, and I told her I would have never watched this movie had it not been here tonight. But I am glad that I did.
Nice.
It is definitely not a movie I would have sought out to watch, whether on streaming or whatever. But I am glad that I did see it.
And you say it was called The Christophers?
The Christophers. Sir Ian McKellen plays an old painter. He was like a celebrity painter, but he kind of ruined his reputation some years before. He's old. He's near his deathbed. His kids hire this woman who can recreate paintings and renovate paintings. And they hire her to finish some of his works that he's got stashed up in the attic. But he doesn't want that to happen and stuff. And they have it was really good. I don't want to spoil too much. Not that there's much to spoil, but it was a really, really good movie. I did enjoy it a lot, even though it was not, again, it's not the kind of flair I would normally go for.
Well, yeah, just like Sung Blue.
That one I vaguely heard about and probably would have, just because it's a biopic about initially I thought Neil Diamond, but I probably would have checked it out eventually.
Okay, I can't believe this one flew under the radar so easily. Usually there's something in the news about what Steven Soderbergh's got going on.
Well, when I told Tally about it, he's like, Soderbergh's been doing so many, making some weird choices and doing some odd movies that he's not what he's known for.
Yeah.
So, I love mostly his heist movies, Ocean's movies and stuff, and Logan Lucky.
Yeah.
But it was a good movie. I will recommend it, but it may not be for everyone because it's a drama piece. If you put any stock into it, I know the industry does. I will not be surprised if Sir Ian McKellen gets some award nods, but it is so early in the year, he'll probably get forgotten. But yeah, it was a really, really good flick.
Nice.
We are 4 for 4 on those mystery premieres.
Excellent.
Yeah. So let's talk about movies about losing your job, since it happened to you and you're bitter. Just a little bit. Um, what is your number 5?
My number 5 is from 1986, and this is the Kevin Bacon movie Quicksilver.
Quicksilver.
Yeah, it's the one. It's one where he starts off. He's this hotshot stockbroker, and he ends up making a risky trade and losing all his money, his parents' money, his company's money, and he basically flushes his career down the tube. And then cut to a year or so later, and he's a bike messenger.
Okay, when I'm hearing Quicksilver, I'm picturing like somebody on a 10-speed, but I don't think I ever watched it, to be honest.
It's a great movie, and it's one of those ones I remember seeing on TV, and it had one of those particular deleted scenes that's not on the DVD or the home video version, which is besides the point. But it's a great movie about the bike messenger culture. They updated, of course, in the movie that Premium Rush with Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Okay.
But this one has Kevin Bacon, Jamie Gertz, who was in a lot of the 80s movies and the Brat Pack stuff.
She's one that I had a bit of a crush on, especially the movie Crossroads with Ralph Macchio.
Yeah, it's got Paul Rodriguez. It's an early film from Lawrence Fishburne, who plays a tiny bit of a sketchy individual. Yeah.
Okay.
But
I'm vaguely aware of the movie, but I don't think I ever did watch it.
Yeah, it's a good movie. It's a good movie. It's of its time. It's in the 80s, but yeah, it's good.
Okay. All right. Quicksilver. All right. My number 5. I feel like most of my movies are going to be well known. I won't be surprised if we have crossover, but Jerry Maguire.
Yeah, that's my number 3.
That's your number 3?
Yeah, I was only able to find maybe out of how many did I find total? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
I have 9, and I would say 2 of them are kind of stretching. Like 2 of my honorable mentions are kind of stretching things. So,
yeah.
But, come on, Jerry Maguire. It's like an iconic film.
Oh yeah.
It's all about him crashing out when he loses his job, and it's iconic for a reason. It's got Show Me the Money, and You Had Me at
Hello.
I almost forget that is from Jerry Maguire.
Yeah. And the human head weighs 8 pounds.
Jonathan Lipnicki's breakout kid role there. Did he leave the business?
That is an excellent question, because I remember seeing he did a few other movies, and there was a picture of him like grown up, and he looks nothing like it.
I honestly can't remember the last time I heard his name when it wasn't talking about Jerry Maguire.
Let me see. A2, Anywhere, Sarah's Oil, Cottonmouth, Joe Schmo Show, Camp Pleasant, Man Goes on Rent. A lot of 2023, 2019, 2018. It looks like he has been working pretty steadily, but a lot of TV and shorts.
I wonder if he's been in things and just didn't realize it was him, kind of thing.
I think so.
It wouldn't surprise me if that's the case. But yeah, it's Jerry Maguire. It's, if you don't know Jerry Maguire, you should watch Jerry Maguire. I'm not going to say it's one of the best movies ever made, but it's definitely one that you should experience at least once.
Yeah, and I remember, I think I was still working at, what's that year? 1996. I never saw it in the theater. I think it was one of those ones I picked up on VHS. Either while I was home from college, or maybe after when I was working at Rogers. I picked it up, and it was one of those ones I watched, and I just had a smile on my face the whole time. And it was one of those it was about as good as everyone kept saying it was.
Okay. Yeah. Yes. It lives up to the hype. Yes.
It does, yes. That's
And
an appropriate phrase.
I'd have to look at his like IMDb or whatever, but I'm not sure. That might have been my first introduction to Cuba Gooding Jr. Even though there's a couple other movies that I know him from, and like Gladiator was one of my favorites back in the day. The
Gladiator.
boxing.
One of mine might have been, what was it? It might have been A Few Good Men.
He's in that. He's in such a small role. It's
Yeah.
basically a cameo.
Well, him and Noah Wiley and Christopher
Yep.
Guest. They're
Yep.
just on the stand for one quick blip,
One
and then they're
scene.
gone.
Yeah, one scene and they're out.
Yeah. Oh, Cuba Gooding Jr. Oh, Boys in the Hood.
That's his breakout.
Yeah.
That was his breakout. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jerry Maguire. All right. So, what is your number 4?
4. Number 4. This one, I haven't shown this one to Rebecca just yet. I saw this one when it was on DVD, when it came out on DVD. We had it as one of the Chatham Film Group was showed it at the Galaxy here.
Okay.
Because it's from 2014. Sorry, I'm burying the lead here. The movie is Chef.
That's my number 4. That's my number 4. I watched it a couple years ago, but lost to the green haze. I'm not kidding. I watched it yesterday. Not because of this. I just randomly put it on yesterday.
I've been meaning to watch. I've only ever watched it once. I've been meaning to watch it again, and like I said, show it to my wife. It's a movie that makes you hungry. There's so much good food in it. He basically has it out with his boss in front of a room full of patrons. Quits as the chef in a ritzy restaurant.
He gets into a pissing contest with a food critic.
Yeah.
But
that's right.
Played by Dustin Hoffman, refuses to let him change the menu.
Isn't that Oliver Platt?
Oliver Platt was the food critic.
Yeah.
Dustin Hoffman was the boss.
Yeah.
And yeah, he can cook other things and he wants to do a different menu, but Dustin Hoffman owns the restaurant. He keeps telling him, you can't change the menu. So the critic is blaming him, even though he can't change the menu.
Yeah, I love it how like Favreau directed this, starred in it, opens up a food truck, gets John Leguizamo in there, gets his Avengers friends Scarlett Johansson and Robert Downey Jr. in there.
And the one for one scene again.
Yeah, it's a great all around movie that he did for like not a micro budget, but considering he had just done the Avengers.
Well, as my kid said when I mentioned it, he goes,
"No, not the Avengers, the Iron Man movies."
Yep. This is one of Jon Favreau's good movies because he's stuck in the Disney whirlpool, and this is something he managed to get out of the Disney whirlpool to make.
Yeah.
So, and yeah, it is. It's a really good, feel-good movie. Really good performances. The bonding he has with his son, how his son basically becomes their marketing manager with all his Twitter posts and whatnot. And
yeah, and there's one scene I keep rewatching on YouTube, and it's him making a legit Cubano sandwich. Yep. Oh, it looks so good.
That's what he ends up. What he does for the food truck.
Yeah.
They're making and he's teaching his son how to make it. Him and Leguizamo are teaching him how to make it because they had to make a bunch for the big guys that they helped them load the truck.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Sofia Vergara as his kid's mom, his ex-wife.
Oh, that's right.
And at the end, it looks like they've remarried. It ends with like a wedding party in the restaurant that Oliver Platt is backing him.
That's right. Doesn't he show up again? Yeah.
Yeah. He shows up when they get the food truck to LA. And he's like, "This is delicious," and like he doesn't want to beef with him or anything. He's just saying he wanted more from him, and he felt bad that he wasn't getting more out of him, and then he ends up backing him for his restaurant,
Yeah. It's
the
just a
El
great.
Jefe restaurant. But yeah, that's my number 4. That's. I knew we'd have some crossover. It's cool that we match on that one.
Yeah.
It is. It is. It's one of those just feel good movies.
Yes.
Okay, then what is your number 3?
My number 3. Oh, my number 3 was Jerry Maguire.
Oh, great. Okay. Yeah, man, we're gonna be firing through these tonight. My number 3, because it had to show up at some point, is Office Space from 1999.
Yeah,
I
that
count
is
it.
it.
I do count it because there's layoffs involved.
I do too. It's one of my one of my 4. Sorry, yeah, 4 honorable mentions. No, I only had 7, so 2 honorable mentions.
All right,
Yeah.
but it's Office Space. You talk about iconic. 1999, Mike Judge coming off of Beavis and Butthead and whatnot, just it crushes. It's funny.
And
There's so many little quotes in there. Everybody knows. Have you seen my stapler?
yeah, I nearly put it on the list because it involves a stapler.
I hadn't even thought of that. I didn't even put that together.
And I should have, but I didn't. But yeah, I only wish his subsequent movies had been as. It's hard to measure up to when you have such a strong debut.
Oh yeah, when you hit a home run off the first one, it's really hard to follow that up.
Not that I haven't enjoyed his follow-up movies, but it's hard to measure up to Office Space.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And Ron Livingston's performance being being in that half hypnotic state, it just makes sense for how he just plays everything in that movie. Plays that character.
It's not that I'm lazy; it's that I just don't care.
Yeah, and man, we can all feel for that sometimes.
Yeah,
we can all relate to that sometimes. Maybe more than sometimes. Like that movie still plays now, 25 years later, 27 years later. It still fucking plays. It's still funny as hell.
Yeah.
It may be slightly dated in regards to the technology and whatnot, but you can get past that real quick. That movie still plays. It is still funny as hell. The beating down of the fax machine, like
to the Scarface song, it's still got a great soundtrack.
Yep. Diedrich Bader as the weird neighbor
with the mullet and the mustache.
Hey man, turn on channel 8. It's just because there's boobs.
Lawrence, just come over.
Yeah, Office Space. God, I gotta rewatch it. It's been about a year since I watched that. All right. So what is your? How long has it been for you?
Maybe a year or 2.
So you do go back to it?
I do because again, Ron Livingston, John C. McGinley, the 2 Bobs.
Yep.
All the interviewing for your own job and stuff, and Gary Cole. It's such a good cast.
Yes, very much. Stephen Root, though.
Maybe
Stephen Root.
I'm gonna burn this place to the ground.
And then he does, or did he?
And I used to watch the squirrels, and they were merry.
What is your number 2?
My number two, and is from 2009. I think this is still my second favorite Jason Reitman film. It's the George Clooney Up in the Air.
When I did my quick Google search, that one kept coming up, and I've never actually watched it. But I think YouTube's been throwing me clips recently. Is
Anna Kendrick.
Anna Kendrick. Okay, that is the movie that I've had a couple clips thrown at me. Then,
and it's not a movie about the protagonist losing his or her job. It's about him. He's someone who travels around the country firing people. That's his job.
Oh, Damn.
And Anna Kendrick comes in. Jason Bateman's the boss who brings in Anna Kendrick, who has figured out a way to do this all remotely. And George Clooney takes great offense to this. He's like, "You don't know my job. You should really learn how to do my job." So Bateman gets him to take her around to so he can show her the right way to fire people. And then it kind of goes south, but it's such a good movie.
Doing it remotely is the coward's way to do it. It is.
Yeah.
It's that when you're, tearing somebody's life apart like that, it's essentially it's what you're doing. You know, that should always be done face to face. I know in this day and age everything's on technology and nobody's in the office half the time, especially my place of employment. There's hardly anybody actually in the office. So I get that, but still that should be an in-person thing.
Yeah.
That
And they prove that point several times in the movie. But like, so it's George Clooney, Anna Kendrick, Jason Bateman. You have J.K. Simmons in there. They also have a bunch of real people who have been fired, playing people that as a montage of employees
okay,
getting fired.
like
You've got
testimonials.
yeah, well, not testimonials, but like you have quick clips of their reactions to being fired, and it's real people instead of actors. Zach Galifianakis is in there for a quick scene. Let me see. You got Vera Farmiga as the love interest. Yeah, it's
Okay, that's. I was trying to picture who it was in the scene where Clooney's sitting next to her and Anna's on the other side, and they're talking about how they don't believe in love and stuff. Or
oh yeah, because he's Clooney is a guy who basically lives on airplanes and hotels and stuff, and doesn't spend any money unless it benefits his air miles account. And he's trying to get to 1 million miles. Where he gets to 1 million miles, you get your name put on the side of a plane. You get to meet the captain of all the airlines, played by a quick cameo by Sam Elliott. Um, and so he meets Vera Farmiga, who does the same thing. She travels. I don't think you really find out what she does, but they all just meet in hotels and are all about the frequent flyer miles and their the hotels they use and the car rentals they use and the restaurants they eat in, and they just mesh, and they meet up several times in the movie. Yeah, it's just, I wouldn't exactly call it a feel good movie, but it's so good.
yeah, I remember hearing it when it came out and stuff, but I don't know, it didn't seem to catch my interest.
I believe it is based on a book.
That wouldn't surprise me. Wouldn't
Yeah.
surprise me at all. Well, my number two is vastly different from that, and I do mean vastly. It's from 2017, and it's called Mayhem.
I looked at that one and I love that movie. Trust me, I love that movie. But I was trying to figure out how that fit in with
He gets
people
fired.
losing their.
He gets fired, and as he's being
Oh,
escorted out of the building, that's when it goes into lockdown.
okay. It's been years since I watched it, and
He
I
gets fired, like he gets thrown under the bus for a big mistake, a big error on account or whatever. So he gets fired, and it's as he's being escorted out. He's literally like 10 feet from the door, and that's when the sensors go off, and he gets locked in.
oh yeah, Stephen Ewan and Samara Weaving.
Oh God, that movie's so fun,
It's
brutal, and gory, and crazy nuts.
and way better than. Did you ever see the movie that it's compared to?
The Belko
And it was
experiment.
the yeah. I wasn't that big a fan of that one. I preferred Mayhem.
They are two vastly different movies, but like Belko Experiment, I have not revisited, but it was good. But it was the more dramatic, intense thriller, where
Yeah,
Mayhem is just a balls to the wall, over the top friggin' violence and sex and everything, because it's all about the virus that takes away your inhibitions.
yeah.
So you have no filter and nothing to stop you. So they're vastly different in that regard. Outside of the having to kill each other thing, that they are two entirely different flicks. But Mayhem's the one I go back to on a semi-regular basis.
Yeah.
It's so much fun. I love Samara Weaving. I just heard about her new one. Her and
Red.
Jason Segel.
Oh,
Like, yeah,
over
Ready or
your
Not
dead.
2, I need to see.
Yeah, so do I. Is it over your dead body?
I think that's what it's called.
I think so.
It's about a couple that go off to like a cabin in the woods for a weekend retreat. Little do they know that each of them are planning to kill the other one.
Yeah, it's an interesting premise.
That sounds very interesting, and it's Samara Weaving with Jason Segel of all people.
Yeah,
So I am very curious about that one. But Mayhem is so much fun. Just and it gets so over the top insane. Having them fight their way up to the top floor and stuff. Yeah, I highly recommend it if you want just a fun, ultra violent, just yeah. That's it, Mayhem 2017. That's the one, man.
yeah,
You've seen it?
yeah, yeah.
Oh,
It's just been several years, so that's
okay.
why I had forgotten about it.
Yeah, and I think I kind of stumbled on it randomly one day with my kid.
I knew about it because it was being compared to the Belko experiment, which again I had seen and uh, didn't enjoy it as much. But I was also listening to the Movie Crypt podcast a lot back then, and two filmmakers are the co-hosts of that, and one of them is Joe Lynch, who did uh, Everly. He did Wrong Turn 2,
It's a badass.
Knights of Badassdom. Yeah, like Everly. I love Everly. It
Everly is.
was
I revisited that about a little over a year ago, I think it was, and yeah, that one was like a sleeper hit. Honestly, like
yeah,
that underrated action flick and original,
and
very original.
I think that was the most recent one he had done when he went to do Mayhem. I think I could be wrong. So I was aware of it and I had high hopes for it, and they were not. Uh, they were met.
Okay, cool. Well, before we get to our number one, you had two honorable mentions.
Yeah, one of them was Office Space,
Yep.
and the other one is it's the J.C. Chandor movie called Margin Call,
Nope.
and it's a movie about. It takes place at the same time as the 2008 financial crisis, where everything just comes crashing down, and this one financial institution just starts laying off people because everything's coming down. But it has like Kevin Spacey, Jeremy Irons, Zachary Quinto, Penn Badgley, uh, the guy from The Mentalist has Simon Baker, has Demi Moore, Stanley Tucci.
Damn.
I remember having this conversation with a theater goer uh, back when I was still at the theater here in Chatham, because it didn't come to our theater, but he had seen it and I had seen it. We were just talking about how well written the movie is, and I think it was J.C. Chandor's first or second film, and it was just a stellar debut or follow up.
I
I
don't
can't
know
remember
them,
exactly.
but that's quite the lineup for cast. So
You
that's cool.
might know. Let me see. J.C. Chandor.
I don't know that name at all.
He did. Here we go. Let me see. He did. Come on, come on, come on. Director. Apologies. Okay, yeah. So Margin Call was his debut film. He followed that up with All Is Lost, the Lost at Sea movie. It was just Robert Redford by himself in a boat.
Nope.
He did A Most Violent Year. It was sort of like a 70s mob kind of movie with Oscar Isaac and Jessica Chastain. He did.
Never did watch that one. That one was, I think, recommended to me at one point.
This one I haven't seen. It was a Netflix movie. It was like a special ops movie. It was Triple Frontier. It had like Ben Affleck and Oscar Isaac and some other
I never
people.
did watch that one either. I watched Triple Threat, which had Aiko Yue and somebody else. Tony Jaa.
And so, and out of sort of like taking a left turn out of this one, he most recently did Craven the Hunter,
Which no, I never did watch. So
which I thought was super fun. But I think I would, and I think pretty much anyone else you run into would recommend Margin Call.
okay. And Marcel has joined us.
Hey,
Hello,
Marcel.
Marcel. We're getting near the end of our top 5 of these losing our job movies, but I'm just doing my honorable mentions here.
Yes.
So, Mr. Mom from 1983. I have not watched it in a very long time, but it's an iconic 80s comedy for a reason. It's a breakout
Oh
from Michael Keaton.
yeah.
I don't know if it holds up, but I'm probably gonna be checking it out sometime soon.
I have not seen that in a long time.
Me either. From 2003, watched this a crap ton back when it came out. Daddy Daycare from 2003.
Oh, I've never seen that.
It's a cute, fun family flick. It's funny. This is kind of stretching, I think, a bit, but The Running Man from 2025. Even though he's already unemployed in it, so he doesn't lose his job. He's already unemployed, but I put it in as an honorable mention for that reason. And then from 2008, Death Race, because Jason Statham loses his job at the factory in his introduction scene, not the opening scene, because the opening scene is a race with the previous Frankenstein, but he loses his job at the factory and then gets framed for his wife's murder and so on.
That is a great. I had forgotten that because I hadn't seen it in a while, but that is a great movie.
I hate to use the term guilty pleasure, but I rewatch Death Race often. I just find it very fun.
It is.
It's so much fun. I don't go back to Death Race 2000. It's cheesy, campy. Roger Corman. You know,
I've never seen that.
That's the original. That's the Roger Corman. It's exactly that. It's a Roger Corman flick. It's over the top 70s stuff, and it's campy. But Death Race, Death Race to me is one of the better remakes that have ever been made in Hollywood.
Yeah.
It's not the exact same concept because it's an enclosed race, where in Death Race 2000 it's literally a cross country race, and they can run. They get points for running over people on the road trip.
Yeah, because it's a post-apocalyptic-ish, isn't it?
Ish, yes, and they get points for people that they run over.
Yeah,
and whatnot. So it's different in that regard, but it's a solid remake.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my honorable mentions. So I have a sneaking suspicion we're both going to have the same number one.
Well, the pool is small to draw from, but it's quite possible.
I'm almost willing to put money down that we're going to have the same number one. So go ahead. What is your number one?
My number one is from 2011.
We do not have the same number one.
Oh.
Okay,
this is interesting.
What is this movie? 2011. Okay.
I always think of this movie, especially when you mentioned. I may have mentioned it when you said like a feel-good movie, that Marcel the Shell with Shoes On or whatever.
Yeah.
I watch this movie a lot because I consider it a feel-good movie. I did watch this on the day I lost my job.
Okay.
Because it involves a guy who loses his job and goes back to school to retrain so he can get a better job. And I'm considering doing that.
Okay.
And yeah, so my number one is Larry Crown.
That one came up on lists. That's Tom Hanks, right?
Tom Hanks. It's a movie he directed. He co-wrote with Nia Vardalos of My Big Fat Greek Wedding fame. It's got him, Julia Roberts, George Takei in a great role as Professor Mazzatani, I think. Bryan Cranston's in there. Pam Grier. It's and Wilmer Valderrama of that '70s
Oh
show
wow.
fame.
Okay.
Cedric the Entertainer, Tamara,
I think I only remember seeing like a few trailers and
Taraj
whatnot.
Taraj P Henson.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a great cast. It's a feel good movie. I didn't feel great on that day, but it's a feel good movie.
Larry Crown. Yeah, I never did watch check it out at all. I'm well aware of it. Never gave it a chance.
Yeah, I would highly recommend it.
It sounds like it'd be something I would definitely enjoy for sure, especially with that lineup. That's a stat cast.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah,
Hanks doesn't miss. Come on now, except for Lady Killers, but we don't talk about
yeah.
that. So
Ouch.
surprisingly, I am really surprised that you didn't even have this movie in your honorable mentions at all. But I rewatched it today. Now I was already planning on rewatching it sometime soon. Because yeah, YouTube's thrown me a few clips, and I have not seen this movie since it first came out. It has literally been probably 33 or no, what's the math here? Yeah, 33 years since this movie
Oh,
came out, 1993, but it still holds up. It was
1993 is 33. Wow.
falling down
Oh,
with my
I considered it almost right off the bat, but I've never actually seen the whole thing.
well, okay, I watched it. I don't think I appreciated it enough back then. In my mind, I always knew that it was good, but I've not rewatched it in 30 plus years. I watched
Yeah.
it today. It still works. It is intense. Probably Michael Douglas's best work.
Mm.
Um,
I have it out in the man cave, and it always runs through my head every time I see the case. Greg's voice going, "I'm the bad guy," because he would always say that to me.
yep. Well, it still holds up. It still holds up. It's still intense. And if they were to try and do a remake now, it would be they would probably take it to mayhem levels of violence
Yeah.
if they tried to remake it today. It is not one that should be remade. The story still plays even now. It doesn't show a lot of datedness outside of again the technology, the phones or whatever, but my God, was it intense? So like I said, I don't think I gave it enough love back in the day.
No.
On 30-year rewatch, it is phenomenal.
And I should have rewatched it long before now because Facebook often throws up memes saying like this movie makes so much sense these days.
Yep. Marcel agrees with the cast for Larry Crown. Sounds like a great cast. Absolutely,
Yeah. Yeah.
absolutely. But Falling Down, man, I highly recommend
Oh, and
revisit.
Rami Malek's also in there
Where?
in Larry Crown.
Just keep piling them on.
Well, I'm doing it from memory. I could look at it, but I'd rather do it from memory. Just
Right, no,
have the people that keep popping up in the movie.
cool. Hey, it's great to have a big cast, and if you remember that they're in it, they did it right.
And oh,
Sometimes
what's his
you mistake.
name? What's the guy from Step Brothers? Pow, pow. Um, Rob Riggle. Rob Riggle's in the
Okay.
movie too.
Just, I don't know. It seemed like there was a stretch where Rob Riggle was almost in everything.
Yeah, yeah, and it's not so much. It's a small. He's only in two scenes,
You
but
know,
it's sort of like
when you were talking about Up in the Air with Clooney, you talk about how he just lives in the hotels and on airplanes and stuff. Made me
yeah.
think, even though it's not the same concept, made me think of Jeremy Piven and The Goods, Live Hard, Sell Hard.
Live hard, sell hard. That was a good one.
Funny, but how they just go to the Hacienda Suites wherever they go.
Yeah.
Well, here we are. our top 5 flicks about losing your job. Do you feel
Nice.
better? Do you feel, was it cathartic? Did it?
No.
No.
No. Fuck them.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Yes, absolutely.
But I appreciate you humoring me. That I appreciate.
We just need to work on our communication so that we can get the full table back. But
yeah,
we'll work on it. We'll fix it.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I was going to put it in the group as soon as we finished. What would we like to do next week?
Do it. Do it that way. At least we have the conversation now. We got it. We can even take a day or two to sort it out. So
yeah, cool.
All right, cool. Well then, for another week at the Movie Madhouse, I'm Jason.
I'm James.
Bye-bye.
Short and sweet. Toodles.
I said shut up! It's a man!